How is it going, everybody? In today's video, we are going to be learning on how to create a REST API with MariaDB. REST API will be like the back end, whereby whenever we make a request, it's going to post the data from the UI to our database. So first of all, the UI we are going to be designing is we are going to be using the postman for our UI. Now, this REST API we are creating now can be consumed by a web application and a mobile app. So it depends on which one you want to use. So having said that, let's get right into the code. Alright, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to create a new project. So we'll click on File, click on New Project, excuse me, and then we'll name the project API, sorry, not BI, API. Then ship this. Environment location directory is empty, so we have to fix that. Virtual environment. Why is this empty? Okay, I think I have to rename this. I'm going to say, because I think I already have an API, so I'm going to say /REST. Now, this is a new, as you can see now, the button is no longer grayed out. REST_API. So I'm going to click on create. I'm going to select a new window this time. I don't want to mess with the previous project I have, and I'm going to close out the previous one. So now, just excuse that. The first thing we are going to do is we are going to bring up our terminal so we can run some certain script. This script we are going to run is what is going to install dependency. In Java, we call them dependency, but in Python, they are called module or package, if I'm right. I stand to be corrected. So let's wait while the virtual environment is being created. So the project is retrying. Oh, one more thing I forgot. We are going to be needing internet connection. So let me connect my laptop to the internet. As you can see, it's telling me retry error. So I have to connect to the internet. Now let's see if it can uninstall it because of the network issue. So we have to rerun the project. Hopefully it goes well this time. So let's see. So it's setting up, installing the necessary packages. So let's just do its stuff. If it doesn't work, we have to just recreate the project because I forgot to turn on my internet connection as of when I started. Keep rolling. So I think it's updating the index 6, and I think we are through. Yeah, we were able to get it. So now, first thing first, we have to bring up our terminal. So we click on terminal and it open the built-in terminal. So I'll just have to come here and I will run certain scripts. So the first line of script I want to run is pip3 install. I'm going to use flags. Now let it get that dependency for me. And then the next one I want to install next is pip3 install on u-flags.cross. This is also going to be needed. Alright, the next thing I'm going to say is pip install -u flags -cross. Click on enter. Then I'm going to install MariaDB now. I'll say pip3 install MariaDB. I'll click on enter rather, and to go and get me the dependencies. So once these 3 dependencies are added, I think that will be it for now, and then we can go right ahead and start creating our project. So all 3 has been installed successfully. Let's move on to the next step. Now we're going to come right here, we're going to right click, and we're going to create a new Python file. This will be I'm going to do more of a server scenario, and we're going to make use of Postman as our API. That is like the UI, the API consumption. So I'll click on file, and I'll say server 1.py. Now this is the server. So now first things first, we also have to define another class called app.py. So I'll right click on this new file, app.py. Now in this app.py, I'm going to import from flags, import flags. Sorry about that, not false. Flags. Then the next one I'm going to import is from flags cross import CRUD cross. It is like cross origin. Then we say cross. Then we add app into it. Oh, one more thing. We're going to say app is equal to flags $sign name. Just have to factor this. I think I should do it. Now this is the first class. Now what we're now going to now create in this server will be this. So we say from flags import JSONify is one of the packages we're going to use it from flags import request. We'll say from app import which was that variable instantiation created. Then we say import MariaDB, and we're going to also import one more sys, that's what it's called. Now let's define the method. Before then, let's refactor the code. So I'm going to right click, optimize. In a second thought, you know what, leave that there. Let's define a function. Let's take this one as always. This will be a method, or rather this will be a function called to instantiate the connection. So we're going to say try, just the same way we do in Java. Is equal to, so what am I typing? MariaDB dot connection user is equal to root password is equal to localhost password. So I'm just going to use this to cc, then host is equal to localhost, then the port is equal to 3306, which is the default. Now we're going to say print if everything went well. Connected. Then return the variable. Then we say except. We say Maria dot error as a. And we say print out that error. We use the F string to format it. Now we say error connect. Connect to this way we make use of that sys.exit. So on error of connection, just exit out of the program. So we don't have any section for certain unwanted penetration. So now what we are now going to do next is to find another function. Now this function will be the one that will now be listening to post request. So say at, this is the annotation dot route, similar stuff we do in Java. Then we say we put it in a single quote, and then we define the endpoint. So I'm going to say API version 1, and I'm going to say method is equal to, in square brackets, single quote, post. I think this is how we define it. Then we say diff is to define another, the inner function name, user. And then I'll say this is to add user rather, global cursor, then call. Now we say try JSON underscore J is equal to request dot JSON. We say underscore name, name is equal to JSON dot, or rather square brackets name. This will get it out of the query string parameter. Then we just duplicate. This time we say underscore email duplicate. No, let's just pass just these few parameters in. Yeah, we're just going to make use of these few parameters. We can keep passing more and more. I'm just going to make use of these two so it can be shorter and we'll not have to define too much logic. So we say if name, and the simplicity of Python is just so interesting. Like, why I'm so happy making use of this API, and it makes Springboard look like, you know, it's not just what distress, because this, if you were to do it in Springboard, you have to define getters and setters and all this stuff. Oh my goodness. So anyone that is coming from Java will understand the loveliness. Excuse me if that word is not right, but it's so interesting, honestly. Less stress and just get straight to the business logic. So, and requests. Enough of me blabbing, let me just get on with the code. Method is equal to post. This is how we check an if statement in Python. To my fellow Java programmers, is this not just wonderful? Now we define the statement. We say insert into. Now this table has to be created on the, what's it called now? It has to be created on the my MariaDB server. So I'm going to do that real quick, but I'm just going to make use of one user that has already been created on my MariaDB localhost. So I'll say Walex fab underscore blogs dot user, I think that was the name of this database, underscore reg1. So next I'm going to pass at the parameters. I'll say name, I'll say email, yeah, I think that's the two I defined, and I'll say values, and I'll just say 1, 2. That should do it. And then the response we are going to get is what we say now. So we say bind underscore data is equal to name and email and we say call, which was defined at the top, is equal to always. Always is this method that was defined at the top here. Now this way we are making use of it. say call cursor this time around is equal to call dot cursor, deleting this, then we say cursor dot execute. Let's see. Okay, execute query, find. Find data. All dots omit. And then the response that we're going to get if all went well, we will now define it in this response is equal to JSONify. Then we say post response dot success. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to add this in the string. Was successful. Hopefully, I spelled this right. Oh my goodness, look what I spelled. So this is successfully. And I'll say response dot status dot underscore code is equal to 200, and I return that response. Else return not underscore found. Now exception. Exception as yes. Print it out. So if you have any exception, just print it out. Then we'll use the finally keyword to close out every connection. So what this does is, if for any reason we have an error, most of you guys will know this, but let me just explain it. If for any reason we have an error or there was a problem with retrieving the data or whatever it is that might happen, don't forget to just execute this. Whatever be the outcome, make sure you do this just to close up our connection, so we don't have stalkers sniffing through the open port. So I'm going to create this function that has been created at the top here. So I'll just take it to, let me do it at the top here. And now let me define what it looks like. So I'll say I'm going to put an endpoint annotation app.error handler forward. Now say error and I'll say message is equal to status then if all goes well, we'll now do the remaining aspect, which is delete, update, and yes, post, delete, update, and create, which is the same thing as post. Then we'll do what is called delete and then update, and I think there's one more again, but let's go with this now. So I'm going to fire up my SQL client, which is actually already installed. If you don't have this, there are different tutorials online you can go through, and then you learn how to install this MariaDB. If you guys want me to make a separate video on it, please feel free to drop it in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to reply to that. So now I'm going to launch this. I'm going to enter in my password, and now I'm logged in. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Alex fab underscore blog. As you can see, I define a Alex fab underscore blog database. It says it doesn't know the database. Let's see. Show databases. Then okay, these are blogs. As I forgot to put the S. Naturally it was there, so what was the issue then? Oh, when I was querying it, I didn't put the S, so I'll just query this up and I'll say S. So it has been changed. So now I'm going to create a new database, create table. What would I call it then? Let me just bring this down a bit so I can see both. Create table user pass ID serial. Sorry. Then I'm going to say name. We're going to keep it at 300. Then we'll say email. Successful. So now this user reg 01. I'll just copy this. Just to be sure that's it. So yeah. So we have the email and the name. We didn't put the ID field because it was auto implemented and generated by the server. So this is what we are adding, and then the things this is the response. Hold on, what's the type? For some reason this was acting funny, but everything should be sorted now. So having done that, I'm going to right click on this and say run server. Hopefully all goes well. We're having an error. Let's see what's the error about. So it says line 27. To add some other, what am I supposed to do here right now? So hold on. This is routes, what's dash API, methods. Okay, it has to be methods. Then we'll save this. I will try it again. Hopefully we don't get this error anymore. Yep. So everything is working perfectly alright. So now we're going to have to visit. For us to make use of this, we cannot just go to our browser and post it. We have to make use of Postman then. Because when we're going to be retrieving the data, we're going to use it on our browser. But for now, we want to post a value. We have to use Postman, because we don't start creating input field and testing it. If you guys want me to create a separate video whereby I create a UI, a web UI, or a desktop UI, or a mobile app UI, and then make use of this REST API, please feel free and I will go ahead with the video. So now, the postman is still loading up, so let's just give it some time. I don't know, my laptop is kind of sluggish today, so let's just give it some time, and hopefully everything will be loaded up. So here it is, it's still loading up, so let's just wait. I might pause the video, and once it's ready, I'll resume the video. So everything has been loaded up and postman is ready now. So I'm just going to create a new tab. As you can see, I have already some other tabs running already. Localhost, I also have some production already. APIs are already calling, so this is just by the way. So now I'm going to now have to visit this URL which was printed to the console on time of launch. Let me close this out. I'm going to visit this URL and then concatenate it, or rather join it with this endpoint. So I'll do this, change this to a post, then come back here, get this endpoint, paste it here, and then come here, click on bodies, click on raw, click on JSON, then open curly braces. I'll say name, hold on, Python, then comma, was proven nowadays, huh? My email at gmail.com. So I'm going to send this. Alright, we're having an error. Let's see what caused that. It says int that got type string. Let's see. These are all bacha. So name and email. So where are you getting this? Let me pause the video and I'll get back to you. Alright, I see my mistake. This is a port, so it's not supposed to be enclosed in a string. So I'm going to save. Then it has been restarted, and this time we'll post. We're still getting the error. Let's see. Execute, not execute. So execute. We save that. Everything should work this time. And then here we have it, post successful. And then we will come to our database now. We say select asterisk from user reg. Here we go, Python, my email at gmail.com. So now the next thing we want to move into now is how to perform deletes, updates, and every other function that has to do with REST. So now we're going to move on to should we do post now or delete now? Okay, let's do get this time. So we say annotation app dot route. Sorry about that. Route. Then we say API underscore version 2. Sorry. Version 2. Then we say div.pool member, or should I say pool member? Yeah. Then we say global same thing we defined here, then cursor. Then we say try. Let's just make this connection so it's going to be more is equal to always after instantiating that we say call is equal to com dot also and we say call dot execute. To use the dictionary to properly get both the key value pair. So we say call dot is so we say hold on, let me see, let's just say this CRUD. It's supposed to help me auto complete that, but I don't know why it's not bringing it out. This CRUD sham. Say I, we come here, we say index of 0, now we say value, sorry, then outside of this we say follow for I, response is equal to JSONify the response that was gotten. I say response dot status code is equal to 200. I say return response. I say accept exception pass PR. Now print it out PR. I say finally have to refactor this or rather reformat it. Then the next one we're going to do, let's test this out before. So go to version 2, copy this endpoint, come here, let me insert this multiple times, and let me say pycharm 1 this time, and then send. I think the server is no longer running, so I have to restart it. So I'm going to come here, right click and run. Let's see, I'll be having an error again this time. I don't know why I'm always having an error every time I run this program. So let's see. It says phone number. Alright, hold on, let me walk through this and see what's the problem. what's called. Let's see. PV2. So I'm going to just come here and I'll send that. While we have an error now, let me see what I specify. It says what's this time around? Database. Okay, so I have to also include the database. I'm sorry about that. So come right here, save it, stop it, and then restart it. Hopefully everything should go now. So get why are we still having this error now? Let's see. What am I even doing? Underscore _1, restart it. Start period. Now let's get all the data buttons. So here we go. Here they are. Now we'll move on to the next one, which is updates. Yeah, let's do updates. So we see put now. So we come here, we see app dot routes. It's just the same thing, we're just repeating it all over and over again. API underscore before. Let's do based on, let's do v3, pv3. This will be based on single user, based on ID. So we can select based on ID. It's ID. So this is supposed to be half not pp. So I'll say div is equal to pull single user. I'll say ID, say global, try, sorry, is equal to all this. I'll say call is equal to call dot cursor. Dictionary enumeration we just do here. So I'll just can't copy this line, so I can just reuse this. Actually, you can just copy all this out of here. So done. Here you go. Now I'll place this inside here. Shift this forward a bit. So let's see. Press dictionary is that. I'll see EW. Put these two guys forward. And they're actually on the here. So I think this should do it. So I'm going to save this and then start part of the server. Then I'm going to do API version 3. App routes app dot route. Now we say API underscore v4. So this was v3. So I say p4. Don't forget the forward slash. Then we define the method. This time will be can see this is saying Java, so I'll say Java 12, and then let's see. Alright, so we're having an error. And what does it say? It says call was not defined. So let's see. Let's see, call is equal to this, then call execute query, call dot commits, while we're having that, hold on, let me go and read more and see what caused the usability issue. This indicate must be integer or slice, not string. So let's see. Let's see. So coming all the way to this section, we have ID, name, email. Yeah, let's put it this way and see what it gives us. Still having the same error, so let's quickly fix that. Let's see. This is user reg dot set. Your email is equal to oh my bad, this is supposed to be we are not we, so I'll save that and restart, and then I should be able to send my post with request. We are still having errors. Set name, where ID is equal to why am I still having this error? Always dot cursor or comment response. Alright, so I'm supposed to have else. Case for these errors. Really stop the server and start it all again. Hopefully this time everything goes well. So I'll come back to postman and I'll send. I'm still having this error. This now. Call is not defined, is not defined. It's top here. So let's see API for methods. Put update colon for Everything is working fine. Why are you not opening it? Always. Execute. Submit. Commit. Everything is working fine. We're still having some issues. I might have to pause this video and get back to you guys on this one. Alright, I was able to figure out what was causing the error. I had this in this square bracket instead of curly braces, so that was what was causing the error. So once I take it out and then I click on this send, you get the update. So now, since I've already done this, there's no need to show you. Let me just make a get request and then return the value and then update it. So if I run this now, as you can see now, Java is saying Java 12, and then this is saying Java 1, which is ID of 3. So now let me update that. Let me say ID of 3, and then let me see Java 8. And now when I run it, here we go. I come and I prove. As you can see, number 3 says 1. Once I put it now, you should have 3 says 8. So that's where you update. Now for the final part, which is delete. Hopefully this one will give me stress. This video is already longer than I want it to be, but at app.route then you see single quotes API version PDB5 now /init start the server. Oh, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be added. Save. Yep, so we need to go down. I'll not send this. Why must I always have to count it back each time I finish up this program? What makes str not calling me? Change the ID from 2 to 3, I send, and then I come and make it get requests for all the datas. As you can see now, if I should come and request for 3 now, as you can see it's gone. So that wraps it up on REST API with MariaDB. Please don't forget to subscribe, share, and like the videos. Let me post just this so you guys can see it in the back end when it's been updated to now once I click on select, we should have 3 values. So that wraps it on for this. Thank you, have a great day.